Okay, so hi everybody. Thanks for tuning in, clicking on this video, giving it a shot. This is a new series that I've kind of started to reach out to employers called Adjust Your Focus Fridays. And because of the current situation where we're at, a lot of people are still working from home, limiting exposure to other people. I thought this would be a great opportunity to develop these new kind of informational sessions to really spread that awareness and dispel some myths and answer any questions that you all might have. So what are these Adjust Your Focus Fridays sessions? Essentially, they are going to be short. This one might be the longest one. I'm going to try to get through as quickly as I can, but they're designed to be a 15 to 30-minute pre-recorded Zoom session and then uploaded onto LinkedIn. These sessions are going to be about working with individuals who are blind, low vision, or who have various disabilities. So I'm going to upload them every day at 1 p.m. a little late today, staff meetings. I apologize for that. But they're going to be uploaded so you can watch them whenever is convenient for you. And then I'm also going to have, which I'm going to link in the comments, an anonymous short survey that will be sent out. Any questions that you have, any topics that you want answered, this is a great place to put those questions. It's, again, anonymous, it's optional. However, if there's questions that you might be wanting to ask, I've never worked with someone who is blind. How do I even start a conversation? Things like that, it's just a kind of a safe place to shoot out those questions. Let's troubleshoot situations that might come up. So again, it's anonymous if you want to be anonymous, and just posting any comments if you want something else out of these trainings. This is kind of, your place to put this. So, and then again, if you can please like or comment on this post for tracking, reporting purposes. It's helpful to know who watches this as I move forward and build relationships, so I can kind of check that business interaction. So it'd just be helpful. So I appreciate it. Okay. I'm gonna try not to say I've noticed that before that when I'm recording these, I still get nervous and Okay. So, however, all right. So a quick introduction about me. My name's Ashley West. I'm the Business Engagement Specialist for Iowa Department for the Blind. I cover all 99 counties, building those relationships with employers to learn about their business, current potential hiring needs, and then I play matchmaker with clients around the state who would best fill those roles. Or if we don't have anyone, say you're in manufacturing and you have positions that drive forklifts, none of my clients are going to be qualified for those, but I have partners that I connect these positions to. So I've been with the department for 5 years now, a little over 5 years. I've worked as a VR counselor and then a independent living teacher, so teaching those blindness skills. I got my bachelor's from the University of Iowa. Go Hawkeyes. Every Hawkeye has to say that, right? I was told the Hawkeyes are the most annoying, but I say most loud fans out there. So, and then I got my master's in rehabilitation counseling from Drake. I have a picture here too of myself, my grandma, and my son. When I graduated from Drake, I was the first one of my family to go to college. So this was a very big deal, and we're celebrating with me and my family. What kind of propelled me to go into this career field of vocational rehabilitation counseling, which essentially means, someone is acquired or born with disability and they want to go to work. So laying out that goal, steps they need to get to those goals or to that goal, potential barriers, and how to overcome those potential barriers with services in place, right? So what kind of led me to go into this career is my dad, pictured down at the bottom in that picture with my grandpa. He has a traumatic brain injury. He was a successful union insulator for many years, and my grandpa, standing beside him, was his essential low-tech accommodation. So because oftentimes the location of jobs changes, my dad couldn't remember how to get there. So my ride with my grandpa would be that accommodation. Once on the job, my dad did fantastic work. So I really saw my entire life how when an accommodation is put in place, individuals do fantastic work. And the population of individuals with disabilities is huge. And when you're missing out on that, you're really missing out on a crucial, dependable workforce that can do fantastic work, again, with accommodation and skills in place. So, and I've also included a picture of my son. You're a parent, you know, you got to include a picture of your kids when you're talking about yourself. So really having that balanced life, you know, I love my job, I love my career, but making sure, you know, you get burnt out. So having that balanced life. So there's a picture of my son and I at a pumpkin patch. So what is Iowa Department for the Blind? A lot of people don't know it exists, don't know what Iowa Department for the Blind is. So essentially, it is a office in Des Moines with field staff statewide. It's been providing services to Iowans since 1925, and within the department, so I couldn't classify it right off this. There's four units. So we have the business engagement or business enterprise program, but the business enterprise program. So what this is if you're going down the highway and you stop at a rest stop and get something out of vending machines, those vending machines are all owned by someone who is blind. And the business enterprise program gives VR clients the tools, skills to be able to operate those vending machines. We also have the independent living program. This program is for older adults, typically age 55 and over, or individuals who maybe have a secondary disability who do not want to go to work. However, it's mainly for those older adults. What this program is geared towards is assisting people through you know, technology or devices, and mainly learning those skills to keep them independent in their home, in the community, and living a fulfilling life despite maybe age-related vision loss. We also have library services. Library services puts text material in accessible format. So this is a free service for all clients, but particularly educational units or employers that maybe have documents that they want to get into accessible format. So that can be in large print, braille, audio. For example, Buzzard Billy's has braille menus. They came to us, they wanted those menus in braille. Library Services provides that for free. You know, if you have someone, you want to get onboarding material, a new hire manual in large print or braille or audio, the library service is there to do that. And then we have vocational rehabilitation, which is the unit I'm in, getting individuals to work. So some of you might have heard of Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services. We are their sister agency. So what that means is if someone has any type of vision loss going on, you know, maybe cerebral palsy, where they're struggling to see something, even if it's due to, you know, some cognitive things, we provide those vocational rehabilitation services. We provide all the same services as IVRS, or Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services. However, we just do it for those individuals who have that vision loss piece going on. So terminology, I like to touch on this, show this slide, because understanding, you know, legal blindness, low vision, sometimes is confusing. A lot of people think it's total blindness. It doesn't have to be. So the definition of legal blindness is central acuity of 20/200 or less in his or her better eye with correction. So what does 20/200 mean? Essentially, a person can see at 20 feet what a person with 20/20 or perfect vision sees at 200 feet. Okay, and then low vision, again, it's where the person's at and how they, you know, if they say, I'm blind or I have low vision. However, the technical definition of low vision is a condition caused by an eye disease or age in which visual acuity is 20/70 or poorer in the better seeing eye and cannot be corrected or improved with regular eyeglasses or contact lenses. So I just like to share that information. Right now, more than 3.4 million Americans are either legally blind or have low vision. And in Iowa, 54,000 Iowans are blind or have low vision. So if you think about that population, that's pretty significant. And as we move forward, currently blindness and vision loss, one of the top 10 disabilities among adults 18 or over. And as we move forward, in the next 3 decades, the population of adults with vision loss is estimated to double. Okay, so you think about it, getting really familiar with blindness, vision loss, accommodation services that we can provide is going to be pretty crucial as we move forward and the population increases. This is mainly due to health concerns, diabetic retinopathy, or diabetes causing that diabetic retinopathy, where the statistic comes from. So if you're watching, great, because getting familiar again is going to be pretty crucial as you move forward, and you want to get pull the best client or best candidates for the position. You need to look at the entire labor pool. So why I talk about the definition of legal blindness, because a lot of people think the myth, a lot of people think everyone who is blind is completely unable to see anything at all. So total in the dark blindness, dark, can't see anything. However, the fact is about 80% of individuals who are blind have some remaining vision. So a lot of times that's difficult for individuals to wrap their mind around. If they can see a little bit, how much can they see? What can they see? What are they struggling with? So I've included the next few slides to really depict the common eye diseases and what it looks like kind of looking through their eyes. So the first common is diabetic retinopathy, and will only get more common as you see between 2010 and 2050. The estimated number of people who have diabetic retinopathy will nearly double from 7.7 million to 14.6 million. So that is pretty extreme. Anyone with type 1 or type 2 diabetes can develop diabetic retinopathy. Essentially what it is blood vessels swelling and leaking fluid, or abnormal new blood vessels grow on the surface of the retina. So what you see here is an individual who has diabetic retinopathy looking out, and what those are typically referred to as floaters, which can change, their blood vessels swelling and leaking fluid, causing those floaters, and they change on a daily basis within the day. So again, that's what that would look like if you had diabetic retinopathy. Another one, I found it interesting that this source said rare genetic disorder, because I've seen it quite a bit working for the department. But what it is retinitis pigmentosa, or RP, is a genetic disorder that involves a breakdown and loss of cells in the light sensitive area. So what this causes is an individual might have difficulty first seeing at night or in dark areas, and then it really progresses to be that tunnel vision, or as you see, the individual might be looking through a straw. I've heard some people describe, or again, just that loss of that peripheral vision, but they're able to see pretty good in that central vision. So I've included what that looks like. Kind of to go along with that is glaucoma. So this causes damage in the optic nerve. If left untreated, vision can be reduced to a narrow area. So again, that tunnel vision. And this source says it's the leading cause of blindness in the United States. So again, those top common eye diseases. Kind of opposite of that, the tunnel vision, we have macular degeneration. Often occurs in older adults as individuals age. However, I have seen it in young adults. So what it does is it blurs the sharp central vision you need for straight ahead activities for seeing. So, individuals able to see in the peripheral vision, but straightforward is difficult. So again, this slide kind of depicts what that would look like. Cataracts, I'm sure everyone's heard of cataracts, but essentially what it is clouding of the eye's lenses, and most cataracts are related to aging. So I have what it kind of just a blurred, cloudy picture is what individuals would see. So another myth is that accommodations. I will have a presentation that will really dive into accommodations. However, I did want to touch on the myths here. Is a lot of employers might think hiring someone with a disability requires an expensive accommodation, especially for someone who's blind. However, 59% of accommodations cost absolutely nothing, while the rest typically cost only $500 or under per employee. And for every dollar invested in those accommodations, employers see $28.69 average return. So again, you know, you have a qualified applicant, but you might be on the fence of hiring them because you worry about accommodations. Here's some examples of accommodations that are common for someone who is blind or low vision, right? And you can see those costs just minimal. So large print, right? You have someone who might be struggling, seeing that 12-point font, highlight it all, blow it up, make it 26-point. If you have larger documents, pages, that's something that the department, the library will provide for free. Again, $0. Sharpie or thick pens, you know, struggling with seeing, you know, maybe their own handwriting or a note, what accommodation would be a Sharpie or a thick pen? One of those costs 94 cents. Magnifiers, we have a ton of magnifiers at the department. I'll take that back, we just close our A's and devices, but they can be ordered through the department, covered by the department. And you know, you have your typical handheld magnifier, you have one that maybe sits on the page, which is called a stand magnifier. On average, those are $26. Additional lighting. This is, we've seen this before, you go on to an employer, they're providing retention services. Someone's maybe developed an eye disease, losing their vision, they're needing additional lighting, or maybe some lighting removed, just depending on that individual. So additional lighting ranges from $7 to $30. A larger monitor, right? A lot of people prefer a larger monitor, especially those who might be struggling to see that smaller print. So that can really be used to magnify their screen. That ranges $150. We also have ZoomText, which is a program installed on a computer that it makes everything bigger, all the text. It can invert colors. Some individuals see, you know, black with white writing better, or, you know, there's all different colors that can be inverted on that ZoomText. The cost of that program for that screen magnification is $150. We then have screen readers. Screen readers read everything that you would see on the screen, reads it into, or puts it in audio format. So NVDA is a program that you can go right now, online, install, try it out for $0, okay? So, and all of these costs, they can be covered by the department if you are partnering with them, with me. So I like to include these statistics here. So again, these statistics are kind of up in the air because of the, you know, COVID-19 and what the effect has had on the economy. But I did want to include this because as things move back to normal, I think it's really important that employers are aware, especially when you look at the turnover rate prior to COVID-19, when they rehire individuals, to really think about these numbers, okay? So I've included the current unemployment rate, but what I'm going to focus really on is the prior to COVID-19, because the economy is moving up. We are moving back closer to that normal range, so I really think this is important to focus on. So the unemployment rate among persons without disabilities was 2.5%, okay, before the economy kind of took a turn for the worst. Versus prior to COVID-19, the unemployment rate among persons with disabilities was 8%. So that is more than triple, okay? Even if we look at current unemployment rates, as of April 2020, current unemployment rate among individuals without disabilities was about 10%. And when you look at the current unemployment rate for persons with disabilities, it's a little over 18%, which is almost double, okay? So again, extremely high for those individuals with disabilities. If we look at turnover rate, this statistic was hard to find because of the current situation. However, I think this dates to either November or December of 2019. So again, before the economy took a turn, the turnover rate among individuals with disabilities is 8%, okay, 8%, versus the turnover rate among individuals without disabilities, 45%. So really keep these numbers in your mind as you're moving forward, as you're rehiring, as you look for the best individuals for the job. what this shows is that because of the low or because of the higher unemployment rate, when an individual gains employment, when they're given that opportunity, when they're given that chance, they're loyal to that employer, to that position. They're not going to leave, okay? And statistics show this. So just to demonstrate a scenario, right? Typical employer hiring for an average position. What does that look like? What does that cost? You guys know recruiting, this is on average, about $4,000 to hire a new employee spent on recruiting. 52 days to fill that position, right? Posting it on Indeed, doing some marketing. To train that new employee is almost $2,000 per year per employee, and it takes about 48 hours per year, okay? What if you found out that your company is significantly underutilizing a skilled talent pool? As I've described, all these individuals, you know, eye diseases, they might have, you know, what if you found out that you're not utilizing that skilled talent pool? And what if you could partner with agencies that alleviate the recruiting, training costs, saving your company thousands of dollars and hours spent on that? So what services specifically can I provide? Those free placement services. I come in, I learn about your business, I learn about those positions, I learn about what skills, what education, what previous experience is required, and I match a skilled, qualified candidate to that position. Again, so sourcing those qualified candidates. Follow up and provide support as needed. So if things are good, things are good. But however, I am always that resource for employers to contact if, you know, say your systems, you know, you get a different system and you need a different technical service for that employee, we can come in and provide that. So, and then those accommodations, we do come in, do a worksite assessment, determine what technology would be needed. We can provide that technology, provide that training, and fund that as necessary. So we also have employer reimbursement for on-the-job training. Essentially what this is, you know, it allows you to, if you're maybe on the fence about hiring someone with a disability, someone with vision loss, we pay for up to 340 hours for that individual to work, and we can pay 100% of their salary. So it allows you to see whether that person is a good fit for the job and a good fit for the trainee, whether you want to move forward in hiring them on permanently. So we take all liability. They're hired, they're not on your employment role. We take them on as a liability. So again, it just allows you to see whether or not it's a good fit. And at the end of the day, if it isn't, it's a great you know, way to fill that individual's resume who might have those work gaps. So, and also tax credit benefits. So hiring someone with barriers, with a disability, gets your company those tax credit benefits. So let's look at scenario 2, which would be partnering with Iowa Department for the Blind. So rather that $4,000 to recruit and hire a new employee, free, right? Because they come in, I learn about the position, and I match those qualified candidates. And again, if I can't match, so say your position requires driving a forklift, that's not something that any of my clients can do, then I would partner with agencies. So we have workforce development, we have IBRS for an individual that is able to perform that position. Rather than 52 days to fill a position, it's going to be significantly less. As I pre-screen those candidates, I kind of do that work for you and I send them your way. Training, rather than about $2,000, it's absolutely free because I come in, provide that on-the-job training for that individual, work with you, see what's needed, and alleviate that cost. So that employee, rather than that 45% turnover, it's significantly less. It's that 8%. So you will get an employee that is going to stay, that is loyal to your company, okay? So a few final points I want to make is that hiring someone with a disability just makes good business sense. And again, studies have shown that. So companies that make disability inclusion a strategic priority earn 28% higher revenue, they double their net income, 30% higher profit margins, because, you know, again, 87% of customers say they would prefer to shop at a business that hires individuals with disabilities, and 4 times more likely to outperform their peers in terms of shareholder returns. So again, this came from Forbes. This was a detailed study that I can link in the description for you to see why hiring someone with disability makes good business sense, okay? So, don't pay that, I like to believe, don't pay that insanely expensive cost of time and money to operate this revolving door of someone that might just, it's gonna leave after you get them trained, after you invest all this time and money. So rather partner with I Would Rent for the Blind and, tap into our resources, tap into specialties that we can come in and provide you with a qualified candidate with the training, with the assistive technology needed to make that successful fit for a long-term employee that is going to do the job, okay? So I've provided my contact info. Obviously, this is going to be on LinkedIn. Feel free to message me, but here's my phone number and email if you'd like to contact me in a different way. So again, June 12th would be the next one that I'm going to post at 1 p.m. Please don't forget to like or comment the post just so I know who checked it out, who attended, who found it beneficial. Any feedback you'd like to post publicly, go ahead. And then I'll also, again, as a reminder, include that survey for anyone who wants to fill it out, any ideas, whether it be assistive technology, whether it be what can I ask in an interview, what can I ask in an interview, what about after they're hired, tax credit benefits, let's talk about it. Any questions you have, do I hold the door open with someone, for someone who's blind? How do I even approach, get the conversation started? So send those comments, questions in that survey. Again, anonymous survey, optional, but appreciated, so I can make this what you guys need and want to get out of it. So thank you guys again for attending and checking it out, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.